Hello, it's me James and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you all of the working duplication glitches in the latest version of the game. Of course, we have had a brand new update and I do like to keep you guys updated. We are now in the 1.20.50 update of the game. And as I said, I do like to keep you guys updated with what works and what doesn't work. So with that being said, let's jump straight on into the video. For duplication glitch number 1, we have the chest chunk dupe. This is kind of reliable. Sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does work, I mean, you can duplicate so much stuff. If these slots were full of shulker boxes, full of stuff, you could literally duplicate so much. Not only that, you could probably extend this machine as well. As you can see, the machine itself, if I just put these in my offhand, is in its own chunk, and the chests go outside the chunk, just like that. So when we turn on the machine, which I will show you right now, the chests will go in and out the chunks, as you can see. But yeah, it's a really easy setup. A bunch of chests, a bunch of sticky pistons, a little bit of redstone at the back, as you can see, like this. A little bit of a clock and a lever, and it should be good to go. So once you've made this kind of system, again, it needs to be in its own chunk, as I showed you before. We're just going to save and quit. Now, what I would do if you're doing this sort of glitch, I would definitely make a copy of your world. So that is exactly what I am going to do right now. And I am going to go back onto the world, so we'll just do it on the copy. It doesn't really matter which one we do it on. We can just change the name afterwards. And yeah, we're basically going to turn this on and simply come across like this till we're in the middle, and then we're going to go all the way back like so. And basically we're going to want to stop when we can't see all the chests properly. So I'll show you when to stop. We're just going to continue going backwards. Continue going backwards, and you can see we can't see the chest anymore, so we just want to keep going forward. And basically we want it so it's like that. You see that? So we can just see the chest. So if you come back here, that's when they start disappearing. So if you stand here, we can still see them going forward and backwards. So the key to this is try and exit out of the game when the chests are closest to you. So the easiest way to exit out on a PC for me would be Alt F4. So I'm just going to look, and I'm thinking there, maybe I didn't quite see. And of course, as soon as we've exited out, we can jump back on the game. And yeah, we just got to load up the world we exited out of, and we should have duplicated some items. So let's just wait for this to load, and we can go back onto the world. So we was on the copyright. Let's go back onto that copy, and yeah, like I said, we should have duplicated some items. So if it's still moving like that, you will know that the dupe is unsuccessful. So what you can actually do, if you know that it's unsuccessful, you can actually just try it again. So I'm just going to stand here and try it one more time. So there, that should be alright. And I exited out. Let's just load it up one more time. And hopefully this time it has worked. Again, you know if it has worked, if it's still moving or not. If it's not moving anymore, then you know it should have worked. So let's click back onto that world. Hopefully it doesn't take too long to load. And you can see right now that the pistons are moving, but it looks like the chests are not moving. So let's walk towards. And we've actually duplicated our chests. That's pretty nice. Let's turn off the machine right now. Alright. And we can see here we've got the items, and then in this one we've also got the items. Sometimes though, I do remember that it doesn't always work like this. What can happen is this completely stops, and then you have to actually remove the pistons here, and it shows another chest, which is kind of weird. But yeah, basically this works sometimes like this, or sometimes like I just said it, you have to remove the pistons and you will see like ghost chests appearing, but and then your items are all fine. You'll be able to get the items as well. So that is duplication glitch number 1. Duplication glitch number 2, we are going to be looking at this gravity block duplication machine. You can see that it's running right now. It's super resource friendly. Basically what I shall do is turn this off right now, and we will go and see what we've been able to duplicate. So we've simply, let me just show you this a little bit. You can see right here a piston goes up and down, and the water kind of pushes it into this portal, and then of course we're going to go through the portal. So I'll do that right now, and we can see we've made a bunch of lime concrete powder, which is pretty nice. Again, I'm not sure if much goes through here because this chunk or this side isn't loaded, so you do have to come this side to grab your stuff. You don't want to make too much stuff so it lags out. That would be a big problem. The gravity block duplication machine is pretty nice. Like I said, it's really resource friendly and it is very much still working in the 1.20.50 update. If you want to build this machine that you can see right here, I'm going to put a full tutorial in the description below. On to the next one. Up next, and one thing I am super proud to announce, is the Kelp Farms have survived yet another update. That is right, the 0-tick Kelp Farms are literally still in the game. We can still get infinite amounts of kelp. Of course, there is so much we can do with kelp, including food, XP, we can use it for fuel. I mean, if this makes it into 1.21, we're going to have an infinite fuel system, and literally it's going to be fully AFK as well because of course auto crafting, so that is going to be super awesome. I actually can't believe this farm has still made it into this update. Now if you're wondering why this farm is actually a glitch farm, because these will grow and then they will get harvested without no fuel whatsoever, so it's essentially duplicating the kelp, so it is super OP. I recently did a tutorial on the farm that I'm literally standing on right now. I'm going to put that in the description below. I will build this right away because I'm never really sure if they're going to try and patch it or not. I mean, it is so OP. There are so many uses for this. I'm surprised it's made it this far in the game. Anyway, on to the next one. Next on the list is the super OP player duplication glitch. This glitch will quite literally duplicate a player's inventory, a player's ender chest. It will duplicate the amount of levels a player has. It will pretty much duplicate everything a player has, literally everything. So there are two different ways to do this. Both require realms, although one is kind of like a normal world's way and one is just specifically for realms. I'm going to talk you through them very quickly. Basically, what you've got to do is have two different devices. What you're going to have to do as well is make an export of your world from a realm. So download your world from a realm, and then once you've done that, for whatever reason, the realm kind of, like, I don't know, clears the player data, allowing you to join on a different device with the exact same account, and that will literally duplicate everything you have in your inventory at that moment, your levels, and of course your ender chest. So if you went to empty all of that stuff, of course you would duplicate it. Once you've done that, you would then upload it to a realm and then download it once again, and you would be able to join again with the exact same account, and you would get even more stuff. So you could just rinse and repeat it by adding it to a realm and downloading it again. Now the realms version is kind of different. The realm specific version, what you have to do is get two devices and you have to log in at exactly the same time. It's a little bit different to the first method, but what I'm going to do, I've got videos specifically for both methods, so I'm going to put them both in the description below. It's entirely up to you which one you want to do. Either way, you are going to have a different device to do this one. Like I said, the full tutorials are in the description below. Next on the list, we got the Nether Portal duplication glitch. Again, I would make a copy of your world. It doesn't really matter for me. I'm already in a copy. You're also going to want to do this, of course, a Nether Portal that's safe on both sides, and then a bunch of items. I'm going to use a full chest of items to do this. Again, remember, I would probably make a copy of your world just in case anything does go wrong, but for the most part, this is probably one of the most reliable ones for me. What you're going to want to do is set up a chest one block away from the portal like this, and at this point you can see we've got nothing in the chest, just everything in my inventory that we want to duplicate. And as soon as I'm ready, at this point we got the portal, we got the chest, and we got all the items. I'm going to save and quit, allowing the game to remember this point in time. Again, you could make a copy now if you really wanted to. You know what, I'll make a copy. It doesn't really matter. I don't really need a copy, but yeah, it's always advisable to make a copy, so I'd go ahead and do that for this specific glitch. You don't have to make copies for all glitches, but this sort of glitch you will. So, and then you want to add all of the items in the chest as soon as you join the world. You want to do that reasonably fast as well. And then what we're going to do is go through here, and as soon as we get through the portal, like we get ported through, you see building terrain, and we get ported through, and then we want to exit out of the game. as soon as we've done that, we want to go back on the game, and we should have duplicated some items. Now, this does work on different devices. You may have to just adjust the timing a little bit. I'm going to go onto the top one, the one we exited out of, and we should see our duplicated items. So I've got all the items back on me where we originally started, and then I've got all of the items in that chest as well. Like I said, this one is pretty reliable for me most of the time. So yeah, on to the next one. We have the horse armor duplication glitch. This one, it's pretty simple to do. All you're going to need is a looting 3 sword. You're, of course, also going to need a horse. So I'm going to pick this one. You're going to need to tame the horse like this, and then of course we're going to put our armor on the horse. I should also mention right now, this doesn't work every single time, so yeah, it might not work, but fortunately that time it did work. You saw I put 1 piece of armor on and I got 2 in return. Pretty nice. Next up, we got the bone meal glitch. This one is kind of dumb. It's not the best one in the world. You see, we got grass and flowers here. Well, if I bone meal grass, you can see I've got 54 bone meals. Yeah, I can actually bone meal it and still have 54 bone meals. I can do it to all of the grass. Oh, apart from that one, apparently. So let me do that one and that one. And yeah, we got 52. So apparently some did go. But sometimes it doesn't go. So, for example, if I do it over here, let's see if it goes. Nope. Still got it. And basically, yeah, there's no real good use for this. Apart from maybe, like, if you was on Skyblock or something, you could potentially just break the double tool grass. Maybe you've got a higher chance of getting seeds. I'm not really sure if that is an actual thing. Maybe you do have a higher chance. I'm not sure. But then you could put them in a composter. But either way, it's a very slow process. So we did get some seeds and then, you know, put them in a composter. You'd have to do it a lot of times. But for the most part, it's pretty dumb. So, on to the next one. Next up, we got another gravity block duplication glitch. All you're going to want to do is place down a couple drip leaves, get a couple levers, lock them in position like so, and then you're going to be able to place down gravity blocks on top. You can also do it with the dragon egg. You're just going to have to put a solid block first. Well, apparently, I wasn't supposed to do that. There we go. We eventually got there after I placed 3, and then I'm going to remove this and it'll bounce. So what we're going to do at this point, we can either go through a Nether Portal. I've actually made an automatic system, which I'll probably throw in the description. But what I'm going to do for now is just log out, because this will work as well. But as I said, yeah, you could use a Nether Portal, so you wouldn't even have to log out. But both systems work just as good. But there is an automatic system, as I said, which is pretty good. But as soon as you log out, you can see we have managed to duplicate some items. Now, you can imagine if you bulked this up and had an absolutely huge system, you can actually duplicate a fair amount of gravity items using this system. It's entirely up to you how big that you make it. You could choose any gravity blocks, but yeah, it's pretty much as simple as that. Again, I'm going to put the automatic system in the description below. Let's get on to the next one. Next up, we have the Regen Dupe. Again, this is probably one of the best working duplication glitches in the game at the moment. Not only does this work on normal worlds, but it works on realms as well. The only difference is the waiting times. Because of how realms saves, you do have to wait a little bit of a longer time on realms, whereas on normal worlds, which I'm on now, I'm on a copy of Simply Survival, yeah, you can pretty much do this instantly. So what I'm going to do, I've got this system here set up in place. Basically, I'll show you the system. You can see right now that the first chest at least, are in their own section, and these chests are in their own section as well. What I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh the system. I'm going to remove all of these and then click this like that. And that is perfect. I'm going to get rid of all of those shulker boxes. And you can see, if I stand here, like I said, those chests are in their own chunk. And this is a little chilling chunk. We basically can have like a little platform here, but we want that chunk to be completely empty apart from those chests. So at this point, what I'm going to do, I will go into survival. Again, you need to set all of this up and make sure everything is perfect. Like I said, you want to be on a chunk border just here and make sure everything is empty in this chunk all the way up. And yeah, I'm going to save. Also, you're going to want to be on the bottom of the end as well. I should probably mention that. So yeah, I'm going to first of all go into survival. I probably should do that. And then we're going to save and quit. Again, making the game remember this point in time. We just want that system to save exactly how it is. And once we're happy that that has been the case, what we are going to do is jump on the game. And then we're going to pull that lever, and then we're simply going to log out. Now, sometimes I would have to go to the overworld. I'm not sure that is actually the case. I should just be able to log in because I'm on a normal world. I think sometimes on realms I do have to go to the overworld, but in this case, no, I can just log back in, and you can see we've got double chests. So oh yeah, I probably should have showed you that those boxes were literally full. I don't think every single one's full, but the chest is completely full with stuff, as you can see, and it will duplicate all of the stuff. Apparently these ones were just completely empty, but yeah, this is probably the most reliable one on normal worlds and realms at the moment. Again, there is a little bit more of a waiting time on realms. There is actually another variation of the Regen Dupe, and it's actually just with blocks. If you put a little section of blocks like this in their own chunk, so if I go down to these diamonds, and you will see that these diamonds are in their own chunk, as you can see. What I'm going to do right now is I don't need to save because these are already been saved in position. I'm literally going to remove these diamonds like this, and then I'm also going to clear out the chunk. So we're completely clearing out the chunk, and then I'm just going to save and quit. What will happen when I log in is you will see that the diamonds have regenerated. That's why we call it the Regen Dupe. And boom. And then I could do that again and grab all of these diamonds. And then, of course, I clear the chunk once again. And, you know, rinse and repeat this process. I've got a number of different blocks set up on this like length, as you can see. So I'm just going to go back on it, and we should get some more diamonds, as you can see. So, yeah, it just works every single time. You could do 2 at a time if you really wanted to as well. If we go all the way down here, you will notice that I've got some that are not actual blocks. So, these ones. Basically, these are for illegal items. Now, we don't have any illegal items set up. I believe the only ones we can do at the moment are schools. Again, I'll put a more detailed video in the description below. But for the most part, it is basically what I just showed you. If you put stuff in their own chunk, empty the chunk, and have it saved before, it should regenerate in the end. I'm quite honestly surprised how long that the Regen Dupe has been in the game. I'm super proud of finding that one. And last but not least, we have another every item duplication glitch. This one is probably better off for kind of like mobile devices. I know this one was best for me on my iPad. So yeah, it was a little bit better than the portal glitch on my iPad specifically. So yeah, I just use this one. If I'm on like a mobile device, it should work just as good. What you're going to need is a chest and a bunch of shulker boxes. You don't need to duplicate shulker boxes, but this will be the most efficient way. So we're going to start off with all of the items in our inventory, like this. And then we are going to have a chest in front of us that is empty. And we are going to save and quit right now. Of course, we are on survival. Again, we can make a copy of the world, but I've already got a copy, so it doesn't really matter for me. So what I am going to do now, as soon as we load in, we are going to put those items inside this chest. We want to do that pretty quickly, I would say. I mean, you don't want to do it too slowly. And as soon as we've done that, we're going to knock out around about 10 blocks. I'm going to knock out 9 blocks. So this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that should be alright. I'm going to exit out. And then we're going to go back onto the world. And as soon as we load back in, we should have duplicated the items. We should have the items in our inventory and the items in the chest. Again, the number of blocks may vary depending on what device you're on. I know it changed a little bit for me when I was on my iPad, so keep that in mind. If you're on a different device, it may in fact vary. So you can see we've got all the items in my inventory, and we have got all the items in the chest as well. And there we have it. There are all of the working duplication glitches in the latest version of the game. I do hope that this helps you out in your worlds. I will catch you on the next one.